What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. Hope all you have had a great day so far today. Getting into this episode of Johnson, Season 1, Episode 3, Poker Face. I live for this show. This show is funny as hell. It's something unique that you don't see on TV that's not currently on TV, so I love it. You know, this show is just super hilarious. Let me tell you something. Keith is me, and I am Keith. Listen, I can't tell y'all how many times I booked a barbershop appointment for 10 a.m., got there like around 9:50, 9:55, and the barber still ain't ready. When I tell y'all I felt Keith's pain, I felt his pain. Like when he walked up in there, the barber got one in the chair, two waiting, and two more waiting outside. I would have been like, hell no, I'm about to leave. Like, there is really no point in you booking an appointment with a barber because they are forever behind. I was like, Keith, you should have brought you some snacks, some ring dings, something, because you're going to be there for a while, sir. And boy, was he. They sitting there talking about Friday. And that's what I love about the barbershop, too, though, because we go in there, we talk about everything under the sun, from O.J. Simpson to everything. Like, we be talking hella shit. Um, and they sitting there talking about Friday and all that and that mess and talking about Academy Awards and this fool said, what did he say? Academic Emmys. I said, what the hell is an academic Emmy? And Keith had to, let them know about themselves. He said, first of all, the Academy Awards and the Emmys are not the same. They're two different awards. I said, Keith sitting there correcting their asses. I'm like, Keith, don't do it. Don't waste your time. And then he just blurted out, oh, I wish I would hurry up. Keith was sitting there like, oh shit, did I say that out loud? I said, yeah, fool. And that barber was like, see, there go that light skin right there. That's that light skin shit. I said, yo, there ain't no light skin shit because I would have said the same thing. And I'm far from light skin. I would have said the same shit. Y'all need to hurry y'all ass up. Like, people ain't got nowhere to be. And he legit was in there for 2 hours. I said, nah. I felt his fucking pain because I went through it so many times. And the worst thing to do is book a barbershop appointment on a weekend. That's the worst. On a Saturday, never book your appointment on a Saturday. You will be sitting there till the goddamn cows come home. No, absolutely not. Get your ass up and book your appointment sometime during the week. Never on a Saturday. I try to book mine at least on a Monday or a Tuesday, like whatever day I got off. Like if I got a morning off, that's when I'm booking it. Never on a weekend because you will sit there all day. You know how many people go to the barbershop on weekends? Hell no. That's the worst. And he was still sitting in that chair when Omar and all them called him on three-way. He was still sitting in that chair. Been in there 2 hours sitting in that chair, and the barber sitting outside eating their chips on lunch. I was like, hell nah. Listen, if you do that shit to me, you can say goodbye to your tip. Because barbers already charging more now. I remember going to the barbershop only paying like $10, $15. I pay probably like 30 now. Some people pay like 50. It all depends on the barber that you go to. But some people pay like 50 now. Some pay like 45. I pay 30. I'm like, listen, the longer you take, the more money you're about to lose. Because listen, you are not about to sit here, sir, and have me sit here for 2 hours. And then when I finally get in this chair, your ass gonna go outside on lunch. Oh, bitch, this cut about to be free. Like, it's about to be a freebie. Um, so the fellas end up calling, each other or whatever to, Omar was calling everybody, letting them know about Uncle Eugene's poker night. Um, and the buy-in was like $500. I agree with Greg and them. I said, bitch, $500. That's the buy-in? This ain't no goddamn Vegas. I was like, who got $500? Listen, will you take a post-dated check? I was like, I ain't got it. I'll write you an IOU. I said, hell to the no. So Keith talking about he can't go because he's supposed to be going to some salsa club or whatever with Bianca. I'm like, Keith, stop wasting your time with that girl. And he don't even know what to call it. To him, it's a date. To Bianca, I'm like, that shit ain't no date. To Bianca, that shit probably your payment for them damn pictures that she still ain't pay you for, fool. And you sitting here letting her play you like Lotto. I was like, I'm so disappointed in Keith. I said, Keith, get you a backbone, sir. Get you a backbone. And as soon as Serena heard Salsa, she was like, oh, Greg, I want to go. I want to go. Greg looked at her like, no, I'm going poker. I'm going to poker. I ain't going no salsa. Back up. See, that's what happens when you in my conversation. You don't even know what's going on. First of all, I ain't going to no damn salsa. We talking about one of the homies going to salsa. I ain't going nowhere. You back yourself up. See, that's the problem when people be all up in your conversation. Like, mind your business. And I was mad at Omar asked. I'm like, Omar, why you still not telling Keith about Bianca? Like, you still not put him onto her? That she playing him? That she contacted you? And like, come on now, Omar, tell your boy. That's your boy. Let him know. Y'all been friends for 25 plus years. Let that man know what she all about. Because clearly he not seeing it, or he just refused to see it. So you need to let him know. So anyway, speaking about Omar, he done went to go see his attorney. And you know she is not happy because he just keeps handing Naomi all this evidence against him. Like, that shit that he pulled at his son basketball game was not the right move. And I wouldn't be surprised if Naomi set that shit up. Like, you never know. She could have got that old man to chastise Omar or try to, create friction or whatever to get him to lose control. I wouldn't be surprised if she set that up. And, his attorney told him like she could use this against you because she already making claims about your anger and violent and all that stuff, and this is another piece of evidence that she could use. Omar sitting there, oh, you don't think she would really do that? Omar, stop being naive. And I agree with Robin. She was like, well, shit, I don't know if she'll do that. That's your wife. Only you could tell me that. Is she that vindictive? And I only seen Robin for the first like 2 episodes, and already I know she like that. Robin seemed like she vindictive as all get out. So I'm like, yeah, you better, protect your grill. I'm just saying. Like, stop giving that woman all this ammunition against you. And Robin basically told him, go to anger management. He was like, oh, I don't know about that. Omar, stop playing. Go to anger management. Because if you go to anger management, that could help your case. It could show the judge that, you recognize that maybe you do have a little anger issue and you're correcting it. It will go a long way with the judge. It's a strategy. Because she's going to use that against you that you have anger issues. But if you're going to anger management classes already, it'll show the judge that you're correcting that. So that way she can't really use it against you in court. You can combat that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear all that. I don't know shit. You better know. So anyway, moving on from that. So Jarvis done popped up at the office or whatever. He going to his office. I like his assistant Danny. I like her. She came up in there because she from her mother from the South or whatever. I guess she from Alabama. She from somewhere. And she don't play all that calling people by their first name, mainly your boss and all that. So she all about calling him Mr. Johnson or Mr. J. He said no, call me Mr. He said call me Jarvis. So I guess one of his clients or whatever that he showed the house to was calling the office trying to find out if he really owned that real estate firm or not. I said that is some stupid shit right there. To call a firm to find out if he really owns the place. I'm like, really? And Jarvis, like, he tried to brush it off or whatever. I'm like, nah, I would have been tight. But I get it though. You a businessman and stuff. You ain't trying to, go off on a client or nothing because you trying to get that dollar. I respect it, but I would have been tight. And I agree with Danny. Danny was like, oh, I was about to let him know about himself. That is me, like, sometimes, because like you really be wanting to say some shit, but you're in a professional setting, so it's like you can't because you ain't trying to lose out on that coin. So it's like, you gotta be professional. But sometimes you just be wanting to go the hell off. I was like, no, Jarvis, sometimes you got to spaz out because you ain't about to sit here and disrespect my name and try to act like I'm some bum out here. Like, absolute the fuck not. You gonna put some respect on my shit. So anyway, moving on from that. Listen, Greg gonna have to stop playing with Serena. Serena need to stop settling for him. Like, I'm just saying. They've been together for 1 year. Greg just seemed like he's a commitment phobe. Like, he has no intention of getting married, none of that. And, most men, they not gonna want to get married if the woman that they're with is already giving them wife benefits. Like, if y'all already doing stuff that wives are supposed to do, that's not gonna entice somebody to marry you. Not that fast, they're not. And they've been together for 1 year. Dudes, we know if you're the one after probably like a month, maybe 2 months. It does not take a dude that long to figure out if you're the one that he wants to marry. Damn sure don't take a year. Let's just be real. It don't. It don't. And they've been together for a year and y'all no closer to a commitment. Like, what are y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Like Serena, she, and then she hit him with the question. And any woman that asks you, can I ask you a question? I don't like when they ask that shit. Um, and she was asking him, what do you love about me? Listen, my heart would have been pounding. I would have had to think quick on my feet for an answer. But he gave a good answer. He did. He was quick about it. He was like, shit, what I love about you is that you don't need a man, but you don't act like you don't need a man. You know what I'm saying? I said, that's a good answer. I said, okay, Greg. That was smart thinking. And it shut her up for the moment. She was all giddy and all that shit. So I said, okay, you put a band-aid on it. I like that. You diffused the situation. Um, and that's love when he kissed her and he didn't even brush his teeth yet. He kissed her with that stank morning breath and she ain't even flinch. I was like, that's some love right there. That is some love right there. Cause you gonna have to go floss or something. You got to go brush before you touch me. I'm just saying, like, I ain't about to all 7 in the morning, all that. No. No, people breath be smelling like hot doo doo in the morning. Absolutely not. Go brush, go rinse, get some gargle, and then come back and holler at me. Like, but she allowed that shit, and then they going for round 2, and y'all ain't wash yet, y'all ain't clean up yet. I said, okay, that's love right there. I said, so I don't know why Greg playing. You might as well just go ahead and buy her an engagement ring. Stop this bullshit. I'm just saying. So anyway, moving on from that. So they get to Uncle Eugene's poker game because Keith not going because he got his little salsa class. So Greg, Jarvis, and Omar end up going to the game. Uncle Eugene wasn't playing. As soon as they came in, he was like, "Oh, that's my nephew." As soon as they walked up to that table, y'all got y'all money. Uncle Eugene is me. I love DL Hughley is on this show. I love it. He fits perfectly for Uncle Eugene. I love it. I would have said the same shit because y'all know the buy-in is $500. Y'all better have my money. I don't take checks and I don't take American Express, so you better have my money. My boy Earthquake was up here and he played Booker, and then you got Rodney Perry up here. I love this shit. I like the OGs that they got playing at the table. I love that. And they was clowning Jarvis about his name and stuff like that. And they was clowning Booker about his old ass name. That shit was hilarious. Uncle Eugene was like, shit, don't mind Booker. He said that's just his face. He said he looked like that when he mad. He looked like that when he happy, sad, hungry. I know people like that too that just got that resting bitch face. I know people like that. They just got one face. You can't tell if they happy, sad, mopey, angry. You can't tell a damn thing because they just got that one face. And that's Booker. He got that one little face. That one shit. And then they got into a deep conversation about what's going on with Omar and his divorce. And Booker was like, how the hell you just gonna put that boy business out there? Because Greg, with his old big ass mouth, talking about how he got kicked out of his son basketball game and stuff. Because Eugene had no idea that Omar was going through, marital issues. He had no idea that Omar and Naomi were separated. He had no clue. So, Omar was like, shit, I just don't like talking about it, So he opened up to them about it and whatnot. And the fact that, he thinking about going to anger management because, he spanked his son a few times. So now his wife talking about he violent, he got anger issues. And you could tell by Eugene's face, like he was troubled most of the night, most of the poker game by what he found out about his nephew and his wife. You can see it all over his face because he just kept saying it a few times like, damn, I ain't know. My whole thing, and I love the conversation that they had because that's a real ass conversation. I had that conversation with my own friends too about spankings and when it's necessary to give a spanking. Because I agree with everybody at the table. I agree with all of their opinions that, spanking your kid is necessary. You know what I'm saying? Hell, growing up, a lot of us got our asses whooped. I never saw it as abuse. You know what I'm saying? You did something. It depends on what you did. You got your ass beat. Not in an abusive way. You just a belt to your ass, whatever. A hand, whatever, your parent decided to use at that point. Because my mother, she used to always either use her hand or her belt. And honestly, I didn't get whoopings all the time. It depends on the situation. Like, my mother didn't whoop me for every little thing I did. No. Sometimes she took away my TV. Sometimes she took stuff away. You know what I'm saying? As another alternative for discipline. It wasn't always a whooping. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with Jarvis at that point. You know, and Booker and all them was like, Jarvis, you got kids? He said, no. They said, yeah, I could tell. I mean, I agree with Jarvis. You don't always have to whoop your kids for every little thing. But I agree with Omar too, and why he spanked his son, because he was like, "Shit, I'm not about to sit here and keep repeating myself to you 3, 4, 5 times. I should only have to tell your little ass one time." And I agree with that. That's not abuse. That is not abuse. That's called discipline. But I agree with all their opinions on that. I really do. And Rodney Perry character, he was like, "Shit, are y'all done with this?" He said, "I thought we was playing poker, not Oprah." I was like, I get where he coming from though. He was like, all right, we could, dead this conversation, because he's like, shit, I came here to play poker. I ain't come here to have no deep ass brotherly love conversation. But I love that they did have that conversation, because I agree with all points of view. It's a time to whoop your child, and sometimes it's a time where you need to find alternative methods to discipline. I agree with that. I definitely do. Um, Omar ass was sitting there trying to be all cocky and confident, talking about looking at his cards and shit like he got a good hand. Talking about, oh, I see you're 50. I'll raise you 50. I said, Omar, don't do it. Something told me he was trying to bluff. And I'm like, bro, you are at the table with a bunch of OGs. Don't try to bluff them, because it ain't gonna work. And it sure as hell wasn't scaring none of them. They sitting there talking about Booker look a little nervous, whatever. I said, Booker ass did not look nervous. He looked curious to see if Omar really had something. And then Omar, of course, tried to whisper to Jarvis, talking about something. Oh, you got let me hold $300. I said, see, why did you raise $50 if you ain't got the 300? Why you sitting here trying to play Big Willie? Jarvis was like, shit, I ain't got. Jarvis looking at him like, motherfucker, I ain't giving you no $300. Um, and of course, Uncle Eugene won the table. He won the pot. He had better cards. And he told Omar, he said, listen, you my nephew. I love you. I'm going to give you 3 weeks to pay me. I said, it should not take that man 3 weeks to give you $300. I'm just saying. He was like, yeah, Uncle, I'll cash app you. He said, cash what? He said, it's an app. He said, no, brother. He said, I'll take cash. I know that shit, right? I love that poker game. That shit was hilarious. I was so pissed at Keith. I'm like, Keith, why you keep letting Bianca play you? So they at the salsa club, and she trying to teach him how to salsa dance or whatever. 2 seconds later, some dude named, what's his name? Raymond popped up. I guess somebody that Bianca know. Bianca was so rude. Like, she's sitting there talking to Raymond, dancing with Raymond. She did not one time say, oh, this is my friend or whatever. She did not one time introduce Keith. She just acted like Keith wasn't even there. So they end up walking outside the club or whatever, and she apologized to him, for dancing most of the night, all night with Raymond or whatever. So he mentioned to her how she never posted, she never tagged him in the pictures that she posted on Instagram that he took of her. And she was like, oh my God, I totally forgot. You ain't forget shit, Bianca. I mean, you fine and all that, but stop trying to play my guy. Stop trying to play him. And Bianca is fine. I ain't gonna flex. Like, girly is bad. So she was like, oh, I got 11,000 likes on that picture and about 800 comments. I said, Trick, you got 11,000 likes, 800 comments. That could have been some new business for him. You know what I'm saying? If you tagged him, he could have got a whole bunch of new clients. You know what I'm saying? For his photography business, a whole bunch of new clients. I mean, it's fucked up because, one, she's not paying him, so the least you could do is tag him in the photos. That's going to lead to some paying customers. You know what I'm saying? And she talking about, oh, I'm going to tag you right now. Then here come Raymond and some girl shouting out from behind, talking about, oh, Bianca. And Keith was pissed because he knew that distraction meant that she wasn't going to tag him. She was going to forget. So Keith said, all right, fuck this. He just turned around and left. So he driving, and Bianca calling his phone. He bleep out the call. He bleep her out. She pulled up next to him at the red light, talking about, oh, you ain't gonna answer my phone call? He said, yeah, I'm driving, so I ain't got my headphones, so I can't drive and talk at the same time. And she's sitting there apologizing and whatnot. Talking about, oh, I'm gonna call you or whatever. I'm like, Keith, you need to get you some backbone and stop letting this girl play you. I understand she fine and whatnot, and you trying to date her or whatever, but stop letting her play you. Stop being a fool for her, because you're missing out on money and potential new clients behind her foolishness. Like, either start making her pay, and he need to listen to Greg and them, because they've been told him what you need to do is flag her pictures on Instagram, because technically, as the photographer, you own those pictures because she never paid you. So you own them. So start making her either pay or tag you. And if she does neither one of those things, flag those pictures and hold them shits until you get some form of payment from her. Stop letting her play your ass. Shit, you got bills, brother. And you've been letting her get away with that shit for free for too long. And I'm like, brother, you got bills. Now I see why you didn't go to the poker game, because you ain't got no $300 to get up in there, because you done let her ass get away for free. He better stop doing that shit. Like, we need coin around here. These bills don't pay themselves, bro. So yeah, I was feeling this episode. I really was. I love this whole show, the whole dynamic. You know what I mean? Like, it's so dope. Hit the comments. Let me know what y'all thought about it. I'll see y'all later. Have a great night. Peace.